Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Silver Surge Sports Enthusiast Pop Culture channel. I am your host, Silver Surge. Today's episode, we will be coming at you with a Phoenix Suns edition. Yes, I have not covered any basketball so far on my channel, and I feel like I need to do so. So today will be the first official Suns themed episode. And before we get started, I wanted to point something cool out. I've been doing like 9 or 10 episodes, I think, already, and I have not mentioned the specific tune that I have playing in the background as I kickstart every episode. It's called Summer Breeze by Guitar Hip Hop or something. I think it's an instrumental music, and it's called Rejoiner music. And I never even knew what Rejoiner music was until on my dad's birthday. I went out to lunch with him at this place called Luke's of Chicago. And while we were driving back from the restaurant, he was talking to me about the music that plays in between commercial breaks or right before you start this next segment of a radio talk show, and it's called Rejoiner music. And I never knew that. So this tune playing right now, as you can hear, and on every other episode, it's called Rejoiner music. So a little fun fact about that. But now, anyway, getting back onto the primary focus, which is the Suns. My item that I'm going to be sharing today is a Phoenix Suns bobblehead. And surprise, most of my collection is bobbleheads, but this one's pretty cool. It came on a special themed night the Suns were hosting called Decades Night, and they've done it like 4 or 5 times this season. It's a special promotion for their 50-year anniversary, even though this is like their worst season in history, which is sad, but ironically funny at the same time. But they gave away like old Suns legends like Charles Barkley and Connie Hawkins, and I think Dan Marley was one too. But the one I went to specifically was Steve Nash. Every Suns fan will know Steve Nash. He's one of our most prominent players in history. This one was given away at the Decades Night on the 2nd, I believe. It was against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I was really excited for this bobblehead for multiple reasons. Obviously, one of them being Steve Nash, because he's my favorite Suns player. And it's a really good bobblehead. It's really well put together, just like I've shown you guys in other videos. It's well painted. His head bobbles pretty well, as you can see. Kind of, I think. Anyway, yeah, there we go. I'm just getting it to move around. But yeah, so it's really good. It's got the 50-year anniversary logo at the bottom of it. Here, I'll get my fingers out of the way. So that's kind of cool. And it was presented by Takis, that like taquito spicy chip thing. But yeah, it's really cool, and it was only given away to 5,000 fans. So the Suns bobbleheads are really hard to come by, and that's why I had to get there super early. And I also plan to go to the next Decades Night, which is actually this Friday. It's the last one of the season, and the Suns are going to be giving away a Devin Booker bobblehead to the first 5,000 fans. And you can bet your bum I will be waiting there super early to get my bobblehead, and I'll probably share that bobblehead on a future episode as I have that in my possession. But anyway, yeah, this bobblehead was really fun to get because I love Nash and I love the Suns, even though they're really struggling this year. And I was really hoping, because I haven't been to a lot of Suns games. I've only been to 4 ever. And they've only won once, and that was the first game I went to, which was, I believe, last year. At the end of last season, I went to see the Dallas Mavericks versus the Suns. It was the last game of the season. A friend of mine that I used to work with at a restaurant, he had free tickets, and he offered me a chance to go with him and his dad, and I had a ball. It was so much fun. I had been telling my parents I'd been wanting to go to a Phoenix Suns game forever, and I never had the opportunity, and finally got to go, and I got to see them win, and I got to see Devin Booker live, so that was really fun. But since then, I've been to a few more games. I went to see the Miami Heat this season, and the Suns got clobbered, which was not fun. I don't enjoy going to games and seeing my team get their ass kicked. It just makes for unentertaining sports, and thankfully it was free, so I didn't really have to be upset about paying for tickets to see them get their butt kicked. But yeah, so I went to that game, and then obviously this next game against the Thunder is Game 3 that I went to against, like I just said, Oklahoma City. And then Game 4 will be against the New Orleans Pelicans this Friday. But I don't expect the Suns to win that game. I am just going for the bobblehead, I'm not going to lie. Hardcore fan, but I'm being realistic. They've won one game in the last 2 months. They won last night against the Sacramento Kings, 94-97. I think they were on like a 10 or 11 game losing streak. It was bad. So the Suns are in full tank mode, and I fully expect them to end up with the worst record in the NBA when the season's all said and done. And hopefully they can get the #1 overall pick with the NBA draft lottery. But the Suns usually get screwed in that, and we end up dropping to like the 3rd, 4th, 5th pick. But Maybe this year will be different. We'll see. I hope so. But I'd love to get DeAndre Ayton from the Arizona Wildcats on the Suns to pair up with Devin Booker. That'd be kind of cool, though. That's a different topic for a different story, different video. So, refocusing, yeah, so this was my program that I got from the Thunder Suns basketball game. It's got the entire roster, and it's cool. It's a theme. Got Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire, the dynamic duo from the 2000s. It was really cool to have that game program, and they gave away these really awesome posters. So this one's got Devin Booker. It's basically past meets the present. Devin Booker and Steve Nash, and this one's got all the decades players that were given away, I think, on bobbleheads. So this was the decades promotional poster they gave away at the Suns Thunder game. But it was a really good game, actually. I was not expecting to beat the Thunder because Russell Westbrook is really good, and he's the leading scorer for the Thunder. Obviously, he's their team captain now that Kevin Durant is in California with Golden State. But it was a really good game. The Suns were leading literally for the entire game, and we had like as many as like a 9 or 10 point lead. And I was really enthusiastic because I was hoping that they would get a win, not just for me, but because my dad has never seen the Suns win. He's been to 3 games ever. He saw the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Suns back in the 90s. My mom used to work for this law firm company, and they got free tickets through the Cavaliers, though. So they got to go into the Cavaliers locker room after the game and stuff and see all that stuff from behind the scenes, which is weird because it's an Arizona-based company. Yet they were sponsoring Cleveland, so my mom and dad got free tickets. But Cleveland ended up winning that game, and then my dad and I went to the Miami Heat game earlier this season, and they lost that game too. So I was hoping to see a win for my dad. And the Suns, they looked pretty good until the final, 5-6 minutes. Then, of course, Russell Westbrook came alive, took control of the game, and the Suns choked it away and lost in the last couple of minutes. So it was a pisser for sure. I was really disappointed, but I guess looking at it from the other side of the spectrum, it guess it helped in a way because at that point I think the Suns were starting to get more in tank mode, so it probably helped more that we lost more than win. But I still wanted to see them win. It was because it was such a good game, and the Thunder fans, all like 3 of them that were around me, were really obnoxious. So I was hoping to shut them up, but it didn't happen. So, but anyway, yeah. So this is the highlight for this video, the Nash bobblehead. It's really cool. I love it. It's probably my favorite Suns bobblehead that I have right now. And I can't wait to get that Devin Booker on Friday. That's a really cool looking bobblehead. He's in their retro white uniforms that they have from this season, and I think he's like dribbling the basketball. So it's gonna be a really cool look, and I'm gonna obviously pair that proudly next to this Steve Nash one. So that about does it for this episode for today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my Suns segment. I know it was a little bit longer than I wanted, but that's okay. It's not as long as the 15-minute video from last night, so I consider that a win. So anyway, that does it for today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button at the very bottom. I would really appreciate that. That would go a long way in helping me improve my channel. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments on how to improve, I'm always open to suggestions. Please let me know. I always appreciate communication. Other than that, you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless. Take care.